Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. 1 Minute Apologist. Apologetics seeks to give credible answers to curious questions, to give a defense. How does God's silence and timing tempt us to doubt? You ever feel like God moves like He has all eternity? Well, that's because He does. And it's in that waiting period, the way that God moves, His timing compared to our timing, that can create doubts in our lives. Like, God, do you care about what's going on in my life? Are you willing to hear my prayers? Why are you being silent? Those aspects of God, God's silence, God's timing. Well, we want Him to speak quicker than He often does. We want Him to show up and work quicker than He often does. And what that can do in our life, if we don't understand that God often remains silent, that God doesn't move according to our timetable, but according to His timetable. If we don't realize that, we can struggle with doubts. God had told Abraham that He was going to bless him with a seed, that through that seed many nations would be blessed. However, God had been silent for many years, and God's timing wasn't working the way that Abraham liked it. So Abraham and Sarah, they came up with a plan. Her name? Hagar. And through Hagar, Ishmael. And eventually through Ishmael, Islam. All because one couple couldn't wait on God's timing for Him to provide the promise at His own time. They ended up taking things into their own hand because they were doubting whether or not God would come through. We need to be careful with our doubts when it comes to trusting in God's timetable. We need to be careful with our doubts when it comes to the silence of God. In the book of Psalms, the psalmist writes, "Awake, why are you sleeping, O Lord? Rouse yourself. Do not reject us forever. Why do you hide your face? Why do you forget our affliction and oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our belly clings to the ground. Rise up, come to our help. Redeem us for the sake of your steadfast love." Can you hear the doubts? God, where are you? God, your timing isn't working the way I'd like. Show up. Well, be aware next time you doubt that you're willing to trust God's timetable.